We've already got Ellis and Sam and Ariana. I have to remember who. Lots of people shouting out already. Katie. Starter challenge carrying on from yesterday. Remembering yesterday's lesson, we're adding fractions and subtracting fractions, sort of mixed numbers as well. So have a go at that. I'll be back in a minute. Doing some more shout outs. So you've got Ellis, Sam in Nottingham, Ariana, Finley. Hi Finley. Hi Harry in Nottingham. Hi Heidi in Broughton. Hi Josh. Hi Kieran in Kent. Hi Rio. Just waiting for some answers to come through. Let's see who can get some answers first. Hi Keenan in Norwich. Hi Kieran in Gillingham. Oh, Harry's got an answer. Harry's got an answer. So I'll just start getting everything ready while you're finishing. So multiplying fractions today. I love multiplying fractions. Multiplying and dividing fractions, it looks trickier than it is. Dividing fractions, yeah, it is quite tricky. But multiplying fractions, not so much. I'll be showing you. I think you'll learn a lot today. You always learn loads, you lot. You taught me yesterday with my mistake, didn't you? Right, adding fractions, we need to make them equivalent first of all. So we've got 2/7 and 3/5. We can't do that, we need to make them equivalent. So I'll do it up here. So to make them equivalent, let's multiply the denominators. So 7 times 5 is 35. And now that the denominators are equal, we can complete the sum. But first of all, what did we do to 7 to make 35? Times it by 5. So then we do the same to the top. 2 times 5 is 10. What did we do to 5 to make it to 35? We times it by 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. Do the same to the top. So the answer to the first question is 31 over 35. Okay. This one, now, made this a little bit harder because it's a mixed number fraction, so I'm actually using Monday's lesson, Tuesday's lesson and yesterday's lesson all in one go. What I would do first is make this into an improper fraction and then do your calculation. So to make it into an improper fraction, we do 1 times 5 is 5 and add your 1, so that makes it 6 over 5, so you can change that. So it is 6 over 5. Then we've got to change it so that it has common denominators. Again, 5 and 7, so that's 35. We're subtracting. What do we do to 5 to make it into 35? We times it by 7. Do the same to the top. 6 7s are 42. And then what did we do to 7 to make it into 35? We times it by 5. 5 times 4 is 20. And then 42, take away 20, is 22 over 35. Whew, that last one was tricky. But we need challenges to keep our brain ticking over. There's no point me just repeating questions from yesterday when you lot were so fab. Right, multiplying fractions today. As ever, I'll go over the 3 challenge questions in a bit. I'll do some modelling for you first, and then you get a go. So, when you've got multiplying fractions, so for example, if you've got 1/7 times by 3/5, the immediate thing you might think is, oh right, well, the denominators aren't the same. Surely, like when I'm adding and subtracting fractions, I need to change the denominators so they're the same. You don't when you're multiplying fractions. All you actually do is follow through with the top and the bottom. So you multiply the numerators, so 1 times 3 is 3. And then you multiply the denominators, so 7 5s is 35. And that is your answer. Always try to simplify it if you can, okay? 35 is not in the 3 times table, so this is the most simplified answer. That's it. If you're multiplying a fraction by another fraction, you multiply the numerators, you multiply the denominators, get your answer, and simplify it if possible. How many of you already knew that? Okay? It does get a little bit tricky. I'll show you in a bit. So, another example. You might have a 1/4 times by 2/3. So, you don't have to draw these arrows. This is me just demonstrating. So, 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 3 is 12. We can simplify it this time because both of them are multiples of 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So our answer is 1/6. You do really need to simplify when you're multiplying and dividing fractions. So if you got 2 over 12, well done, you've understood the calculation. Always try to simplify it. Now then, what do you do? What do you do if you're multiplying a fraction by a whole number? So, what if you've got 7/8 times by 4? Do you multiply the denominator? Do you multiply the numerator? Do you do something else entirely? No. What you do is you change 4 so it is a fraction. How do you do that? This is what you do. 4 becomes 4 over 1. Why? Why do you put it over 1? How have you made that into a fraction? This is why. Because if you imagine the number 4 is made up of 1 over 1, 1 over 1, 1 over 1, and 1 over 1. We know that that means 1, that means 1, that means 1, and that means 1. 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole. So you've got 4 lots of 1 whole, that is 4. Okay? So if you do 4 over 1, that is exactly the same as 4 lots of 1 whole. So you've turned that whole number into a fraction. So 4 over 1 is exactly the same as 4. Exactly the same. And you do that with any whole number. So if you had 7/8 divided by, if you had 7/8 times by 9, it will be 9 over 1. So now we can do exactly what we did before. So 7 times 4 is 28. 1 times 8 is 8. And then we think, right, can we simplify it? So 28 over 8. I'm going to divide it by 2 first because they're both even numbers. Nice, easy start. I'm going to get this right last time because we all know yesterday I made a big mistake when I was trying to divide by 2. So half of 28 is 14. Half of 8 is 4. They're still even numbers. I'm going to do the same again. So that's 7 over 2. I have simplified it, but I could make it into a mixed number fraction as well, because I know that how many 7s are in 2? Well, 2 times 3 is 6. So it's 3 1/2. Whew. Okay, so we've gone from having a single number, making it into a fraction, doing the calculation, simplifying it into the smallest fraction, and then making it into a mixed number fraction. Oh, it's knowledge in this week. Okay, important skill is remembering how to multiply, doing the multiplication with the fractions, and then everything else is just remembering other skills. Here are the 3 questions that I put to you before the lesson. So I'll give you a little bit of time to have a go. So 1/10 times by 3/5 equals 3/something. Question 2 was 4/12 times by 1/3 was something over 36. And then 1/6 plus 1/6 plus, how many was it? 1/6 equals 1/6 times by what? Have a go at those. Let's have a look. Oh, lots of comments. Right, scroll up, find. Okay, hi Jensen. Okay, lots of answers. Hi Poppy. Poppy who's 10 years old. Thank you for joining in. Hi Lucy and Nan. Hi Maxwell. You're saying this is easy. Hope it was easy through it. Hi Ethan. Okay, so 3.5, 3.5. Hi Seb. I've got answers coming in for the first one. Hi Harnek. So there. Okay, just having a look. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to be quite nice when doing the 3 questions because I didn't obviously know how much you knew about multiplying fractions. So now you've seen my introduction, you know that what is 1 times 3 is 3, and then it'll be 10 times 5, which is 50. So 3 over 50. And then 4 times, oh right, so 12 times 3 is 36, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now, you might think, oh, well, I can simplify that. Don't worry, I was just looking for the structure of the answer. And then this one, a bit different. I'm just showing you that 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 is 3 lots of 1/6. Okay? Just showing the groupings of multiplying fractions. Okay? So not too bad, but let's go into the challenges. So I want you to have a go at, I've got how many? 6 questions. The first 3 questions are going to be multiplying fractions by fractions. I would like you to try and get your answer in its simplest form. So question 1 is 2/10 times by 2/8. Question 2 is 5/7 times by 1/4. And question 3 is 3/4 times by 2/5. Have a go at that. Hi Daisy in Bridgend. Oh, got got some answers coming in already. Yep, so do the calculating and see if you can get the simplified version. If you're really not sure about simplifying, if you really don't get it, just put what you think is the answer just from the set one. So if you're really stuck with simplifying, just have a go with the actual skill. Okay, let's have a look. Right, I'm going to start. Don't worry if you're still finishing. So we multiply the numerators. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 10 times 8 is 80. So the method doing that gets you your answer. So you got 4 over 80, brilliant. We can simplify it further because 80 is in the 4 times table. So if you divide the bottom and the top by 4, that is 1 over 20. Okay? So don't worry if you only got this, because like I say, simplifying is an extra skill. So for this one, 1 times 5 is 5. 7 times 4 is 28. We can't simplify that any further. We know that because all multiples of 5 end in 5 and 0. So that's the smallest that can go. The last one, we do 3 times 2, or 2 times 3, which is 6. And then we do 4 times 5, which is 20. We think, we can simplify that. We know that because, well, we know that 20, okay, they're both even numbers. Okay, so divide by 2, which is 3. Divide by 2, which is 10. Okay. Can I simplify that any further? Because I've divided 6 by 2, which is 3. I've divided 20 by 2, which is 10. No. Okay, because you can't put any more, 3 does not go into 10. So that's 3/10, the smallest amount. I hope that was alright. Now then, question 4, 5 and 6. What questions am I going to give you? This time we're going to multiply fractions by whole numbers. So remember, what do you do to the whole number so that it can be multiplied by the given fraction? So question 4 and 5 and 6. So I've got 1/5 times by 4, 4/9 times by 8, and 8/12 times by 5. So hopefully you know your times tables here. Give it a go. I'll give you a little bit longer with this one. Good, well done. Just going to give you a little bit of time. which I think I've seen a few of you are like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe you missed it at the beginning, so I'll just show you the first one. So when you're timesing a whole number by a fraction, what you do to the whole number is you make it so it's over 1. Okay, so any of these numbers you change it so it's over 1, and then you do the same method. So 1 times 4 is 4, okay, and then 5 times 1 is 5, so 4/5. Okay, so that's the answer to the first question, 4/5. Okay, just give you a few more seconds. And there's some of you, a lot of you put your number 2. Brilliant, yeah, good. I can see the answers coming in. Don't worry if you haven't simplified them, because I know there's some big numbers in this one. So 4 over 9 times by 8. We change 8, so it's 8 over 1, because that means 8 lots of 1 whole. That means 1 and 1, 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 1 and 1. Can't do it that many times. That's what 8 over 1 means. It means 8 lots of 1 over 1. And we know that 1 over 1 means 1 whole. So that's why we put 8 over 1. It's just changing it into a fraction. It's like having 1.0. That still means 1. That still means 1. The zeros don't really make any difference. So 4 8s are 32. 1 9 is 9. So if you got that, great. Thinking, can we simplify this? Ooh. Let me think. No, you can't divide it by 9. It's not in the 3 times table. I don't think we can actually. We can't simplify it into a number. We can obviously make it into a mixed number fraction. So make it into 1 9 is 9, 2 9s are 18, 3 9s are 27. So 3 9s are 27. And then 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So 3 9s, 27, 28, 29, 31. I'm going to keep double checking my answers now. So we couldn't simplify it just like this. You have to go straight to the mixed number. So if you want it in its smallest form, it's 3 and 5 over 9. But well done if you got that. Brilliant. And then here, we obviously make it so it's 5 over 1. Right? 1 times 12 is 12. 8 5s are 40. So let's go straight to the mixed number. So 1 12 is 12, 2 12 is 24, 3 12 is 36. So 3 12s are 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Oh, so we've got 3 and 4 12s. So that can be simplified to 3, oh, I forgot the space here, 3 and 1 over 3, because I've divided the bottom and the top by 4. So 3 and 1/3 is the smallest answer. Let's see. Yes. Well done, guys. So that's how to multiply fractions with each other and fractions by a whole number. I think when you're multiplying fractions just top to bottom, that's okay. It's when it gets to the whole number that it can get a bit tricky. Tomorrow we're going to be dividing fractions. It's a little bit tricky than this, but it uses this, okay? And I'll give you a clue. When you're dividing fractions, you never actually divide fractions. That's my clue for tomorrow. So the division sign appears, but then it disappears very, very quickly. So join in tomorrow and I'll show you how to divide by fractions. Well done today. Bye.